The Kauai Police Commission and Kauai Police Department hired industry leader Gallup to survey all KPD employees on morale and effectiveness of leadership, among other issues at the department. The good news is the results are public. The problem is, unless you have an advanced degree in mathematics or you run the sports book at a Vegas casino, these numbers might not make much sense. So we put together this small tutorial for you. We want you to understand the numbers so that you can come to your own conclusions. Let's get started. This is slide 8 in the presentation. Take a look around and you'll see that nearly all the info is presented based on mean scores or percentiles. Let's start with the mean. When you see mean, think of average. So for the mean, the higher the score, the better. But no one left instructions on what the hell is the difference between a good score and a bad score. We can answer that question by learning how they got those mysterious decimal point scores to begin with. Nearly all of the mean scores you'll see are based on a 5-point scale. Each answer choice provided to the respondent has a score attached to it, as shown on the screen. The highest score you can get is a 5, so the highest mean score, or average, you can get is a 5. For that to happen, every respondent would have to be super duper supportive of that issue. Not likely to happen, ever. Well, maybe in a cult. On the other end, the lowest score you can get is not 0, it is 1. Now, hold on for this one, because this trips almost everyone up. 3 points is actually neutral, neither good nor bad. Now that we know the points for each response, let's try it out by using one of the questions from the presentation. These questions were asked of 8 members of the leadership team, and we see here the mean rating is 1.6. Let's count up the votes. We had 5 people choose strongly disagree at 1 point each, we had 1 person choose somewhat disagree at 2 points, and we had 2 people choose neither agree or disagree for 3 points each. We add them up. Then, to get to the mean, we divide by the number of people who responded. There you go, a mean rating of 1.6. So a good score or positive rating is above 3. A score of 4 or above is stellar. A score below 3 is a negative rating. A score below 2, say a 1.6, is the negative equivalent of scoring over a 4, so that's pretty damn low. Now that we've been elevated to math nerds, let's go back to that dashboard and see how the world looks now. We'll shade all the scores above 3, meaning they lean positive, in green, and those below 3, leaning negative, in red. Well, there you have it. Go ahead and draw your own conclusions. The second Gallup mystery they left us to unlock is percentile. Percentile is for ranking. It's like creating a top 10 list for nerds. Like the mean, you'll see it all over the place in the presentation. Looking at our dashboard, KPD scores in the 10th percentile in Gallup's law enforcement database, and is in the 1st percentile in its global database. This would be great news if these were top 10 lists, but they're not. Unlike a top 10 list with percentile, the lower the number, the lower you are on the ranking list. We're going to show you how this works by making up a completely fake ranking list of the best places to work. But we will use KPD's actual percentile ranking for our example. To make math easy, let's say there were 100 businesses and government departments rated. And let's make Apple Computer one of the top 10 companies for employees. They would go here. This is the 90th percentile. They are better than 90% of the companies on the list. Now let's take Fargo PD and say they're at the 50th percentile. Hey, they close big cases. They would go here, right in the middle. Now, let's take KPD score, the 1st percentile. So, yes, they would go at the very bottom. On a scale of 100, 99 would be better employers. Except, here's the thing. It's not a list of 100 companies. It's based on a list making up every organization on the planet that Gallup has worked with using these questions between 2019 to 2023. Similar to how we did for mean, let's take a look and see how many questions we scored higher than the 20th percentile, meaning that 80% of the organizations were above us. So the green shade is the 20th percentile and better. Red is lower than the 20th percentile. And the colors here on the dashboard certainly paint a very specific picture. Well, there's a lot more to analyze in this survey, but the undisputed takeaway is that the employees of the Kauai Police Department have major concerns about the future of the organization, the likelihood that their input and their feelings will be taken into account, and a serious issue with lack of trust and confidence in the leadership and direction of the department. Those aren't our words, those are your words. Those are the words of civilian employees and even upper management. And these conclusions are not from a show post survey, they're from an industry leader in this specific field of research. Thank you for watching.